How heavy into like science nerdery do you guys want to go?
Well, I mean, we didn't put you on this show for your looks, Ben.
That hurts. God damn.
This week, we're joining Bill Hoffman and Ben Gahagan of Mass Fisheries on the mighty Atlantic to pursue the everyman's fish, striped bass. On!
Yeah, buddy! They're on it. Yep, they're on it.
On!
Yeah!
You can catch striper with a huge variety of gear and tactics, and it's not unusual to throw a bunch back in order to get one for the grill.
There she goes.
But you probably already know this. What you don't know, and what we are figuring out, is what happens when you let them go. Today's program, so we got like the early start.
Yep.
Launched out of Gloucester, going after striper, but first we're gonna target some bait.
Yeah, so man, so we're out here, we're in the fog, which is gonna make life a little difficult, but hopefully we'll go out, we'll find some bait, get on top of them, find some fish.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And how's it been fishing?
Fishing's been hot and cold. You know, that's kind of one of the things I think we're seeing with the decrease in striped bass abundance and kind of breaking up of age classes, where we're having some more of a staggered age classes lately. And then as the population started suffering from some recruitment failures, we weren't seeing young fish coming into the population, not seeing spawning success like we had been for a while. Since 2018, so starting in 2019, we've had 5 successive what looked like very poor year classes out of the Chesapeake Bay.
No recruitment means little fish don't turn into big fish capable of spawning. Pogies are the target.
At this
not
moment,
menhaden,
same thing.
Mackerel,
menhaden, pogies, bunker, same thing.
Okay.
All the same fish. Typically finding those is a sight thing. You
Yep.
can see nervous water. You can see them popping on the water.
Nice.
Not going to work really well in
Gonna be
deep
hard.
fog. Yeah, it's going to be harder, but we'll go out and check out the areas, see if we can find something. We have some places that we can move, we can slow troll around, try and catch some mackerel.
Okay.
We know are kind of proven winners. And so we'll go for those as our plan A and B. We're going to
Okay.
head north a little bit, see how that works out, and then if that doesn't work, we'll go to C, D, and E.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
See what we can do.
Let's go find some bait.
Let's go.
This is a sabiki rig and we're targeting Atlantic mackerel. We're gonna just bump around, slow troll until we get on them, and then hopefully once we get them, we'll fill that barrel. And
Okay.
then we're gonna move into the rocks for the bass.
Oh,
What?
I'm in them.
You got him?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have mackerel on your line right now?
Not right now. Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
There we go.
All right, you got one.
If you're really on it, you're gonna have like a fish on each hook.
Yeah. You want to try and get a full pull.
Full pull.
Full pull. You got one right here too, Billy. I got one here.
Nice. So what a lot of people don't know is ocean's super big and these fish are really small, which makes them harder to find.
The
That's about right, isn't it, Ben?
One jumped on there. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Okay, yeah. Woohoo!
That's what we're looking for.
Find
There they
out.
are. You got a full pull there? Yeah, you do. Thanks. Full pull!
Oh, look at it, breaking through the fog like that. It's like a Winslow Homer painting.
We're gonna fish around in the rocks right here. There is gonna be a protocol to when we catch a fish. So this is a part of our citizen science blog that we've
Yep.
been sending out for striped bass research. Based on certain parameters, we can actually predict the mortality of striped bass. So, so the data that we need to collect right now, today, is fight time, the time of release. We're gonna take a length on it, and then we're gonna record where the hook was located in the fish, like where it was hooked, presence, absence of blood, and then vitality. So when you let it go, you know, how well does it swim away? So
Sounds good.
record.
So should we all get a stopwatch?
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
The record time. The fish is going to pick up the chunk or the mackerel, and then set the hook. And then as soon as you pull back, hit your timer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to fight the fish, And then as soon as it comes up, you're gonna lift the fish, lift it into the boat, and as you're doing that, just take a glance at your timer. It's 9 seconds. Then you go over, then we're gonna measure it on the cooler top, and then you're gonna shot the length, unhook it, and then let it go, and then stop your stopwatch. Now you got your fight time and your release time.
So now all we need is a striper.
That's coming next, hopefully.
Okay.
You want to come over to this side? You got it. There it goes. Nicely done.
Oh, bail open.
Yep, bail open.
This is like classic predator spot, right? Like big cliff face, water, just like a stream or a river dumping into a lake, right? Like water's washing up, it's grabbing food, sucking it back out. So these fish that want to feed, they're in these spots waiting for that water to flush food back to them. How did the slot become the slot?
How heavy into like science nerdery do you guys want to go?
Well, I mean, we didn't put you on this show for your looks, Ben.
That hurts. God damn. It's kind of like about recruitment, where with that Chesapeake Bay Index, they were seeing poor recruitment, so they knew that we're starting to get leaner. This was kind of post 2005 through 2015, 2018. Could see like a slow bleed from the amount of large females, or what we call spawning stock biomass in management terms. So as that was slowly bleeding down, they said, you know, we should do something management-wise to protect some of the bigger breeding fish. And so they put in a slot. Recruitment continued to get worse. That slot just got narrower and narrower. And so now we're at 12. And we did an emergency action last year to make it 28 to 31. And that was really about protecting the last very good year class, which was the Chesapeake Bay 2015 year class.
Well, here's the question though I've always had on this slot stuff is like, if you're trying to provide that opportunity for folks to get into the fishery by catching fish and being able to take some home, why isn't the keeper zone on that like 15 to 20 inch slot, right?
The historic idea behind 28 inches for striped bass is that most fish will hopefully have one chance at least to reproduce.
Okay.
They've gotten to a sexually mature size and they're gonna have one shot at it.
Uh-huh.
That's been the idea.
There you go.
Oh. That's how the pros do it. Big question, Bill. Did you hit your timer?
Of course I did.
Okay. Of course
Done
I
this
did.
once or twice. Not to lie though, I've often forgotten or I've lost fish because of it.
Yeah.
124. Perfect circle. Right out. You gotta measure this on the cooler. 25. Nice healthy fish. I'm gonna let him go.
Good looking.
Let him go. Stop my watch.
Lively.
Vigorous. Call that a category 1. All right. That's awesome. All right. We're on the board.
Pro. Live bait. Always feels like it's cheating until, you know, you're not catching right away.
This is a calm day. Ideally, we'd want more whitewater. Basket right in there so they can ambush minnows and crabs and everything else, like you said, it's thrown around in that washing machine. Oh, Billy's on again.
All right. Ben and Bill have spent a year catching and releasing striped bass they've equipped with transmitters which allow them to track the fish and determine when and sometimes how those fish die. Today is Citizen Science Day, or phase 2 of the study. We're targeting fish with live bait, cut bait, and circle hooks. We'll record our fight time, hook location, length, and condition of the fish, then let them go. The data we collect will be compared to the findings that Ben and Bill have already collected.
57.
Oh,
123. Stomach.
ooh, nice. This is a great example of how not to handle a fish, but it did happen, and we'll record it. I did, yeah. F***ing this one up, though. There we go. 21.
My fish was 23, Bill.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you call that a little bit of blood present?
Yeah. And time. I'd call that moderate blood.
Went away fast.
What's your time on release?
23.
23.
Those are the catch. I didn't get the release part.
Gotcha.
Practice.
Use that information.
I'm putting the citizen in citizen science. That's what's going on.
You did a pretty good job on your release there and on hook. That's perfect. Just what we need. Not everybody, we don't need professional releases every time. So we want to capture the public and all fishing.
Right. Oh, that's why I'm here.
You did good, Cal.
Thank you. Okay, I'll admit standing next to these guys, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but the fog is breaking and the action is only getting better.
Yep.
Whoa!
There we go, Billy.
On!
Yeah, buddy.
Now, Ben and Bill are definitely fishy dudes, but they also created a study that can prove what happens to fish after they are caught and released. And in order to get enough data for the study, they had to fish for striper every day, every way, for more than a year. So let that be a lesson for you aspiring biologists. You guys are feeling confident that you have, because basically like your applied science is going to potentially set future fishing regulations,
Yeah.
right?
No, we feel great about the model. We tagged like 300 fish. We caught a total of 700 fish over 2 years. That was with like Bill and I and a couple other people fishing. And 1 year of citizen science, 3,600 fish. So the amount of data we get from bringing in the public, the fishing public, the people who care about striped bass is just multiplicative.
Once it went away, you didn't know what happened to it, but because of the tagging, that we used accelerometer tags, so we could actually measure tail beat frequency. So that's how we know how long it took to die, or if it died, or if it survived or not. But what was really cool is that lots of times, I mean, you see it's an open ocean, so they would leave the study area, but if people had receivers up and down the coast, they would detect our fish, and then we're in a network where we share information with them. So we can actually track our fish all the way down to the Chesapeake and back and come back here the next year.
That's awesome.
It was fantastic technology.
End of the day, what are our stats?
Well, it was a little bit of a grind to start. I think the conditions didn't favor us that well, but I think we did pretty good. Came on strong in the afternoon, so
I think we crushed it. So.
Well, we did 18 fish, and we got data from all of them, so that was excellent.
I mean, I feel like we fished pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We worked for these
Right?
fish.
Yep.
Burned a decent amount of gas, touched 18 fish, and I would, not knowing much, but I would confidently say that we didn't have any sort of like impact on the fishery today, right? But if everybody's out there doing the same thing, an 18 fish day, does that have any, like, how many anglers on the water would have to do that to have an impact on the fishery?
I mean, I can't say off the top of my head how many anglers would have to do it, but what you're...
And keep in mind, this has to be an absolute definitive number, right? Because you're the expert.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah, no. We probably ended up killing, I would conservatively say 3 fish, today. So we each kept our fish, even though we only kept one. All 3 of the anglers would, in reality, probably killed the fish.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's increasing the harvest a lot, and that's what we see is that, when we run the numbers for the assessment, that up to half of the overall mortality, including both commercial and recreational harvests, can be post-release mortality, even though maybe 1 in 10, 1 in 12 fish are dying afterwards.
Thanks a ton, guys. That was a ton of fun. So
It is our pleasure. You guys, you did great today too. Everybody, really, it was a great day on the water for all.
everybody stayed in the boat.
Yeah, that's
Always
important.
always a good win
Yeah.
when everybody stays in the boat.
We'll share that story.
With the fishing done for the day, I call up Chris Borgatti, Eastern Policy and Conservation Manager for Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Borgatti's a local, so we head to the local tackle shop, Surfland.
The shapes, especially for late fall run, haven't. Another one of the cool things about the striper fishery is that it's become kind of like a cool kind of subculture, and finding hard to get stuff, and Surfland
Right.
has
Like a
what
certain
you're looking
shop
for.
has a certain thing
Yeah,
by a
no,
certain
no,
dude
yeah.
who's pumping them out of his garage.
So whereas in so much of our space, the big box retailers have done kind of a number on the market, like a place like this is going to survive because people are always looking for that hot bait or that niche thing that you can only get, at a
Right,
place
which
like
if
this.
you're a buyer at a big box store,
That's why these places are so special, and why it's a hub for the fishing community.
well, just like the folks walking. Now, Chris won't say this, but New England BHA was instrumental in securing the funding for the Striped Bass Citizen Science Project, which will ideally provide data that will head off tough economic times for businesses like Surfland. Are you just running the shop, or do you fish?
Just running the shop. Used to fish with my dad. My brothers never took us, so
You're just like inundated with fishermen all the time.
yeah, just got busy. Folks got older, so we had to stick around the shop more.
What's the striper fishery doing right now?
It's kind of weird right now because there's not many small fish. There's a lot of bigger fish around. There is a mix. It's kind of funky because I grew up always, trying to catch a couple for the grill, and now, that slot size 28 to 31, they're trying to conserve all those fish, just because there's not many stocks available. Like that stock is declining.
Have you seen like the striper culture change?
Oh yeah, everybody's much more into the conservation.
Really?
Oh yeah, everybody's really very worried about.
Are you worried about?
I am, because that's our livelihood. Yeah. We don't see those 18 to 24 inch fish anymore. Very rarely. So it's concerning.
Oh, look moody, man.
Oh, dude, it's f***ing glorious. You know how f***ing fired off I am? We're not f***ing around with schoolies today, bud.
All right, it's not just another day in the fog. Having proven to the pros I'm not a danger to them or myself, we set our sights on finding the big fish.
So Bill's gonna try and get up with him. You can see this water right here.
Yeah.
Bill's gonna try and slide up. He's gonna basically try and get him right off in here, and you're gonna try and put this a little bit past it in front of them, so you're dragging it across their nose.
Sweet.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, get that in. They're right here off of the bow. They're coming right here, right at us.
There.
Reel it in, quick, reel.
Coming.
They're right there, right off the stern. You got them, right there. Nice and easy.
Oh.
Twitch.
Oh!
On!
Yeah!
Yeah, baby.
Start the timer.
This is a beautiful ocean fish.
Oh, man.
Silver, as good as it gets.
This is a totally different day. Even though we aren't out of the fog, we're able to see schools of striper close enough to the surface they make their own weight. Now we just need to get a bait in front of them.
Well, they found it.
Oh, nice
Ah,
strike
yeah, they're
on
on
the
it.
surface.
Come on, get it. Get it.
Get ready.
How close are we?
Close.
Oh, right here. They're right here. Right there.
Get that cast down now. Yeah, keep going. They're on it. You got him.
Yeah. Come on. Eat this thing.
Doubled up.
You on? On.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
Now 32.
32. She does pretty good. What do you think?
Strong
Oh, yeah.
fish.
It's either strong, weak, or can't swim.
Strong.
Strong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You grabbing this, Cal?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Get a hand underneath it as you bring it up and over.
Yeah,
There
Whoa.
it is. That's the big bass.
That's a pig there. kind of run a small gamut on ways that you can fish for stripers, right?
Yeah.
And had success pretty much every way. But in the study, you're running basically like you narrowed it down to time of the fight and the release and the type of hook, right?
Where it's hooked is probably one of the most significant indicators as well. So if you hook it up and around the lips, you know, outer jaw, the mortality rate is going to be a lot lower. Post-release mortality rate will be a lot lower than, say, if you hook it in the gills, which is probably the worst place that you can hook a fish.
Yeah, and I think as your fish gets bigger, we've seen a real relationship between that, as you talked about the fight time and the handling time. And just the bottom line is that like a bigger fish is going to take longer to fight and handle usually. So especially with those big fish, be cognizant, keep the pressure on them, get them to the boat. If you're going to get a picture, like have your buddy have your camera out if you're solo already, like before you start fishing for these fish, or you know, have your buddy ready there so you can just get it out of the water, get the picture, put it right back in quickly, really minimize that handling time. Some of these small fish, we were getting in under a minute to the boat. You know, we got into some big fish, we're talking about 3-4 minutes of fight time. That's added time far beyond anything we'd see with a small fish, even if you had a situation where you had to get a gut hook out.
Like what's the couple of things that we can do to like help kick off the rebound of the striped bass fishery?
Like we were saying, do whatever you can to minimize mortality through the handling times and the lures, changing out the lures, and being smart when and where you fish. You know, for example, if you're out fishing and you're slamming them on double treble plug, maybe time to put that away and either move on to another species or go down to a single hook plug, something like that, that's going to create less trauma on the fish.
Yeah, I think it's really just a time for stewardship of the resource right now. It's not in a place where like we need to be completely freaking out at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't get there, but we've had about a 15-year run where things are really good and you didn't have to worry so much about tomorrow. Now it's kind of a time where we need to think about these steps we can take that we've outlined and be a real steward for the resource to kind of go through this valley of that we have coming up in front of us of abundance, and kind of get to that next hilltop, hopefully.
Yeah, and know that you do have an impact on the fishery.
Yeah,
Like-
you're one small part, but it's kind of that like act local, think global thing, you know?
Yeah.
There we go.
Fish on.
Yes. Oh!
Cal, step into this, bud. Step into this.
I'm gonna clear this one. You got it. You got it. It's your study.
But you already made it clear they're not here for my pretty face. Dude, this is
That looks like
this is
a
a
pig.
good fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is not a small fish. That is
Yeah, that's a
beautiful.
nice fish.
When I started getting closer, I was like, that tail is a long way off.
Dang.
Yeah, it's our biggest one yet.
Yeah, it's a good fish.
Yeah, it is. When you get yeah, just get it to the swivel. Tip to the swivel. There you go. Oh, that hook.
We got hook placement too.
Yeah, it's in there.
Dang.
Woo! Look at this thing.
That's a biggie. Cowtown, bud.
Dang.
That's a good fish.
Good.
43.
How heavy do you think?
Oh, that's 30s. Yeah. That's like a 32, 31.
43.
How long have you been striper fishing?
Probably since, geez, 2010, 2011.
Family deal or just you?
Family deal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. How many are you keeping? How many? You let go?
Not many, and I
How
don't
long
mind.
you
I don't
guys
really mind.
been,
I like throwing them back. I do it for the sport.
Is striper fishing something that you've always done?
Pretty much surf cast, and we just isolate it to stripers. You'll catch some skate out here and whatnot, and blues, but you know, we're trying to catch the striper.
How do you think the fishery's doing?
Good. I mean, we get a lot of hits of the smaller ones, and my cousin catches a lot of the bigger ones and lets them go, but it's good sport to catch them. You know, I usually keep one keeper. We usually keep like one keeper a year each, and then other than that, we hook them and throw them back.
So what are you fishing for?
Yeah, so we just came off for fishing for stripers. It's typically what we fish up here north of Newburyport.
Striper's a big deal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's our bread and butter, you know. It's America's game fish around here. That's what, you know, you can find them from shore. We got guys at the ramp here. You can be off a couple miles off the beach. They're plentiful for people both on shore and on boat.
Ben and Bill set out to solve the biggest mystery in angling, catch and release mortality. How many fish are we really killing on a good day? Striped bass are the people's fish. So much so that over 8,000 citizen science submissions were made by the angling community for this study. That data, provided by the people, will help guide fishery regulations that will protect the resource and provide opportunity and great eating for generations to come.